When people think of Virginia, they hardly think of their football program as they have been overshadowed due to the successes of other sports at the school. Their basketball team has had some rough spells with a loss to 16 seed UMBC and a tough buzzer beater this past March to Fordham. Sorry for the additional pain if you're a Virginia fan. However, they did win a national title between those spells in 2019, defeating Texas Tech. Other sports that have won national championships at Virginia lately are the men's tennis team and the women's swimming and diving, which have won their third straight title. However, their football team has never won a national championship and has only won 2 conference championships in the history of the Cavaliers. That looks to change today as newly hired head coach Tony Elliott looks to turn this bottom tier team into a blue blood. If you enjoy college football revamp rebuilds, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Also comment down below who we should rebuild next, but stay tuned to see how far we can take Virginia in this 5-year rebuild. Virginia's team does not look too terrible as they are led by Anthony Johnson, but we have numerous seniors on this roster, so it may go downhill pretty fast. And our season 1 begins with New Mexico, BYU, FCS, Pittsburgh, Ball State, Maryland, Duke, Georgia Tech, Clemson, North Carolina, Miami, and our rivalry game against Virginia Tech. And our first game of the season kicks off at home against number 22 BYU as we kick off here in Scott Stadium. Late in the 4th, we had a chance to score the go-ahead touchdown, but our O-line plays late to the defense and we get hit before we even had a chance to score. And we had a chance to upset the 22 ranked Cougars, but their running back broke a tackle and easily walked in the end zone, crushing our hopes and dreams as we lose to BYU 36-29. Yeah, our first season ended in a wash as we finished 5-7 and 4th in the conference. But hey, on the bright side, we somehow defeated number 18 on the road by 3. Not only do we have a ton of seniors leaving, but 4 freshmen decided to leave because the grass is indeed greener, and I can't say I don't blame them, honestly. However, Ty Simpson from Alabama decided to transfer here for some reason, and thank goodness he did, because we did not have any other starting caliber quarterbacks on the roster. And in Tony's first class, we brought in the 21st overall ranked class with 2 5-stars, 6 4-stars, and 4 3-stars. Not a lot of depth, but good talent for what we got, honestly. With the main headliner of this class is 82 overall Kyle Carlton, followed by a good bit of higher 70 overalls right behind him. You know it's bad when the punter is your best player, but the transfer has to sit out a season because this version of NCAA is outdated, so we may be going even further downhill quicker than we can even imagine. Season 2 schedule has us playing Arizona, BYU, FBS, Utah State, Georgia Tech, Miami, North Carolina, Pittsburgh, Clemson, Maryland, Duke, following in our rivalry game against Virginia Tech. And yeah, right now we start off 1-4 and we actually drop to a 77 overall as we are the bottom feeders of the ACC. However, we get another chance to upset number 13 Miami as this time we face them in front of our hometown crowd. Our defense actually held Miami out of the end zone, and maybe we have a hope despite a disappointing season. And the interim starting quarterback Jay Woolfolk would find true freshman Kyle Carlton, who dusts the defense to put Miami on upset alert. And surprisingly, we would actually blow out Miami and send them to the dark times as they have lost to us in back-to-back years. Tough times for them down at the U. That game landed us 6 recruits who actually see potential in Virginia to rebuild this team into a powerhouse. However, despite that win, we would actually get worse at 3-9 with no real bright spots in the season, despite beating Miami, who just really enjoy losing to us for the 2nd straight year. This offseason, though, we hardly lose anyone, so we can actually build off this, or else we'd get kicked to the curb real quick. Tony is finally bringing in some good players as we have the 11th ranked class in year 2 with 1 5-star, 7 4-stars, and 8 3-stars. This class is starting to come together nice with a high 70 overalls, which will be needed to turn this dumpster fire around. Finally, somebody other than a punter is our best player, but our kicker is our 2nd best guy on the team. However, Ty Simpson will make his debut as he is finished sitting out and will lead the team at an 88 overall. Season 3 involves us kicking off against Baylor, South Alabama, Georgia State, FSU, Miami, Vanderbilt, Pittsburgh, Maryland, then Georgia Tech, North Carolina, Duke, and Virginia Tech. Unsurprisingly, we are projected to finish last in the ACC, but we are vastly improved at an 86 overall. Our first game in Season 3 involves us taking on those Baylor Bears. Up 14-7 with one last drive before half, Ty Simpson had to make something shake early as he moves to his right and throws an absolute dot on the run in the end zone, channeling his inner Mahomes. And our defense is actually beginning to prove itself, as on his 3rd and forever, we actually held Baylor short and blow them out 42-14, marking the beginning of the Cavaliers' march to the top. And I guess we love Mayo as we are invited to play number 23 Wisconsin in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. And here, down late in the 4th, Ty Simpson shows some big cojones on his deep throw to Demick Starling for 64 yards to put us in the lead with 37 seconds left. And 1 play left for Wisconsin. They throw a screen for some reason, and we lock it up to secure our first bowl victory against Wisconsin 38-35. Even though we convinced 1 freshman to stay, another key freshman is leaving for Kansas, as well as other key players from our first bowl victory. But we brought in the 6th ranked class this year for year 3 with 2 5-stars, 8 4-stars, and 7 3-stars. Not too many crazy high overalls, but we get them in positions we needed in order to possibly make a national championship run. Heading into year 4 may actually seem that Virginia may be relevant this season, as we have 7 90 overall players. Season 4 schedule schedule has us playing Central Michigan, FBS, FSU, Charlotte, Georgia Tech, then North Carolina, Pittsburgh, Duke, Maryland, Navy, Miami, and Virginia Tech. At the end of season 4, we finished the regular season 11-1, only behind North Carolina, who beat us earlier this season. In order to make the playoffs, we have to hope that miraculous events occur. But luckily for us, we edged the other 2 lost teams who do not win their conference like us in order to be the 8th seed and play Penn State in the first round in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. We're ahead of Penn State 73 early, but we want to pour it on them as Ty Simpson unleashes a rope to Trey Hemphill, and we eventually upset Penn State 41-33 to advance to the second round of the playoffs. In round 2 of the college football playoffs has us against perennial powerhouse Georgia Bulldogs as they are the 5th seed. We're somehow ahead of Georgia 21-14, but I fully sent it on the run, and yeah, they baited us to an easy touchdown pass to tie this game. Now 26 seconds left in the game, we need yet another late drive from Ty to move on to the Natty as he scrambles to his right, finds Marcus Walker, who evades on a sideline to put us in field goal range, and with one swift kick of the leg, we are national championship bound, defeating Georgia 39-37. The national championship is a rematch of earlier in the season as we take on North Carolina, who defeated us for our lone blemish of the year. And Drake May is somehow still back for another season as he dots us in the corner of the end zone to take the lead in his high-scoring affair. But yet with another drive, you cannot count out comeback Ty as he rolls out for a rainbow to Kenny Henley to put us in field goal range, and the script writers cannot write a better ending to the season as we once again kick a field goal at the last second and win Virginia's first national championship in football program history, defeating North Carolina 48-45. This time, Eric Myrick decides to actually transfer, and we lose a good bit of talent from this national championship team. However, we bring our highest ranked recruiting class to date with 2 5-stars, 11 4-stars, and 3 3-stars for the second overall recruiting class. This class looks to be deep in nature with numerous high at 70 overalls and even an 80 overall corner looking ready to make an immediate impact. Even though our kicker is rated as our best player, we have numerous upper 90 overalls with Ty Simpson coming in at 96, ready for a repeat of the national championship. Season 5 has us playing Charlotte, Stanford, Boise State, Toledo, Maryland, Wake Forest, Miami, Georgia Tech, Duke, North Carolina, Pittsburgh, and Virginia Tech. This time in season 5, we stand atop of the ACC Coastal by ourselves as we are ahead of Miami and North Carolina as we look to win our first ACC championship, starting at 12-0 with an 8-0 record in conference. The ACC championship involves your 2 ranked Virginia Cavaliers taking on 11th ranked Boston College, who really haven't been this good since Matt Ryan. Ty begins this game off strong by delivering a strike over the middle to Sean Wilson, which sets up Xavier Brown to get the goal line carry to bolster our lead, and we would defeat Boston College as Tony Elliott has led Virginia to their 3rd conference championship in program history and first of the video. Ty Simpson would also win the Heisman as the best player in the nation, as for the 2nd year in a row we make the playoffs as a 1 seed this time as we take on Oklahoma State. OK State is actually giving us a run for our money as they parted the Red Sea for the running back to run through, but Ty Simpson actually shows off his legs as he dusts the safety by cutting out to the outside and scampers his way into the end zone, tying the game. That score would be critical as we escape Oklahoma State by a score of 38-35. The second run of the playoffs will not be easy as we face 4 seed UCLA in the pouring rain. And 4th and 1, I want our foot on their throats as we go for it and find a wide open Kenny Henley, and nobody's within a mile of him as he could have walked across the pylon. And we advance to our 2nd straight national championship by defeating UCLA 49-42. Notre Dame has been here before, but most of the time it's because they've been overrated, so let's hope that stays the same. Ty Simpson is simply just feeling himself right now as he launches a jump ball up to Walker, who mosses his defender for a crazy score early on. Now late in the game, we risk it on 4th down to possibly seal it as we give it to Brown, who spins forward, and we defeat Notre Dame in a close one, 28-27 to repeat as national champions. 5 seasons in, and we have turned Virginia into a blue blood with 2 national championships, but I want to take a moment and honor the 3 Virginia players who unfortunately lost their lives in a tragic 2022 incident from a shooting on campus.